Greetings to our viewers at home. We are reporting to you live in Matatiele. With me today is Lungisile Boki, a 30-year-old from Jabulani village here in Matatiele in Ward 25. Lungisile Boki did his primary school and high school, but after high school he could not go to further his studies because he had a few challenges. But after a few years, he went to pursue his studies where he did animal production, but he could only do it for a year due to financial constraints. After that, he went on to try doing learnerships and finding piece jobs here and there. His learnerships included sewing and plumbing. But after struggling here and there, he was able to secure a job in our local radio station. When that was going well and he was good at it, his journey was cut short due to the radio station closing down. And again, it was a problem for him because he also had to figure out again where he was going to work, because in our country we do have a problem of unemployment, and he decided to do something with his hands using less resources. So I introduce to you Lungisile Boki. Welcome to the Informer. Okay, so can you tell us what you are doing here and what we are doing here today?
Apha sisiwami into esiqhubeleka ngayo siyenza apha sisebenza ngocollector i-plastics from a dumping site. So xa sesizinazo apha zininzi siyazipyrolizer, which means siyazipheka, sinembiza zethu sisebenza ngazo apha. Siyazipyrolizer kusho ukuthi sihluza i-crude oil kuzo ke ngoku. Then xa sesifumene lo crude oil sesiyakwazi ba ke ngoku senze intoni, senze i-petroleum products, which means senza i-petrol, senza i-diesel, senze ne-paraffin.
Okay. Can you come show us can you come show us the product that you are doing so that we can talk about something that people at home can see? What is this?
So this is a crude oil that we get from the plastic. After pyrolyzing the plastics, we get this liquid. It's called the crude oil. So from the crude oil, then we are able to get petroleum products. So this one is a diesel fuel. So it works perfectly on all diesel engines. So we have tested it several times to different people. So if you can look, the color here is not the same. This one is deeper, this one is lightly, or it's weak. You can see that side of this container. And then this one is a paraffin. It works perfectly on the primer stove, on the heater. Yeah. So I just want to emphasize that my products are different from the products that we normally know, that we buy from garages. These ones, they are of a different color, but they work the same way as the one that we know. Yeah. So this is how my products are working up to so far.
Okay. Another thing, you mentioned that you break down that plastic. So is that the plastic you use actually?
Yes, there is a particular type of plastics that we use. Not all plastics are able to that we are able to get this crude oil from them. As you can see, there are chairs here, and so these plastics, they are called polyolefin plastics. Polyolefin plastics, yes, if I call them right. They are only the plastics that we use here to make the crude oil. Not the other plastic can make this crude oil without these ones. And then we had the challenge before because we were not sure that which plastics are good for producing this crude oil. Up until maybe I took some months to come up with the solution that no, only these plastics are able to make these petroleum products. So as you can see that this is only one type of plastics that we have. It's because they are able to produce these ones. If you take the other plastic, then you will not get anything. You'll get a wax. So these ones, they can't give you wax anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so have these products been tested?
Yes, as I've said before, we have tested these products in different engines. We have tested our diesel on the tractor in Mangolong village. So I really appreciate the mechanic of that tractor, who gave me the opportunity to test, because the tractor was the first engine that I used to test my product. Then it worked perfectly without any smoke, without any challenge. Then yesterday I went to someone who is also a mechanic, who tested the petrol. So also the generator worked perfectly. There was no smoke, there was nothing. Everything was just perfect.
Okay, since you mentioned that they don't look and smell like the typical petrol and diesel, can you open it? I just want to smell the difference if I can.
Okay, let's take this one because this one is too full. But they smell the same, all of them. And then we tested our paraffin on our primer stove. Then it worked perfectly. The only challenge that we have now is that we don't have big enough machines to make more or enough crude oil. So that is why you can see we are producing 25 to 30 liters per day when we are working in pair. But when I'm alone, only 15 liters can be achievable in one day.
Now, I'd like you to take us through your system. Like, what do you take, where do you put it, and how do you make it?
Oh, okay.
Okay, but starting from this thing that is in front of us, what is this?
Lento lesibiza ngoba i-reactor le. So i-reactor yiyo e-cracker eza plastics ezana. Uyabona njengoba ziqinele zinja. Umzekelo xa sithatha lena ngoku sikhatha into pieces, sifaka ngapha, siphinde sivale ke ngoku. Bese siyabaza. Lo nto ibizwa ngoba i-pyrolysis system. Kusho ukuthi siyayinyibilikisa instead of ukuthi ivuthe ngoba ngapha akho oxygen, iyanyibilika. So ke ngoku ithene into liquid. Lo liquid lethi xa ibila ithene back to gas ke ngoku. Apha izophuma khona kwelicala kune pipe ngapha. Xa seyiphuma ngapha ke ngose igas iyacondense. Xa icondense ibuyela back to liquid ke ngoku. Apho khona sikwazi ukuthi sifumane le crude oil. Le crude oil efumaneka phansi komhlaba lena. But ngenxa yoba i-plastics zenziwe ngayo, siyakwazi ukuthi ke ngoku reverse le process ukwenzela uba sizovelisa ntoni? Sizovelisa yona le crude oil lena engonjwe ngaphansi komhlaba. So igesi yethu iphuma apha. So siyayiconnecta ke nesystem yethu nansi yaphana, siyiconnect yiyo eqokelela ntoni? Eqokelela lo gas ezocondensa iformation ntoni le crude oil ke ngesisebenzisayo si purify ukwenza zonke these products.
Okay, so I heard that, okay, you said that you take these materials and cut them into small pieces. How do you do that? Because I'm sure this is hard plastic.
Sisebenzisa amatye ngoku ngoba asikabi ne-resources ukukhanda lezi plastics. Isitulo xa sibetha ngelitye siyaqhephuka, inyawo libe linyawo. Le ndawo uhlala kuyo ibe le ndawo uhlala kuyo nayo siphinde siyikhathe into pieces. Umzekelo khona uyayibona le nto le. Uyakwazi ukuthi ikhathe into pieces kanje. Mhlambe senze ipieces ngaka nezingentla kwezi. Ezo pieces ke xa sezininzi siyakwazi basizifake ngapha ngaphakathi apho siziparalyze khona ke ngoku zivelise ke ngoku le crude oil. So ayizo plastic zonke ke ezisebenza ukwenza crude oil okanye ezisebenza ukwenza ezi products. Sine inhlobo ethile yeplastics esisebenzisayo ukwenza lento leni. Njengoba na ubona ukuthi iplastic ezilapha noba zingafani incam kodwa uyabona ukuthi into eyi-one.
Okay, we also see that there's something that's on fire this side. What is going on this side?
So i-crude oil le bendithetha ngayo ekuqalekeni siyayithatha ke ngoku sizoyifaka apha nalena sisayibiza ngoba i-reactor noba incinci. Le crude oil xa sesiyifake apha ke ngoku siphinde kulapho ke ngoku senza khona i-purification okanye i-refinery process. Kulapho ke ngoku izobila ke ngoku le crude oil izoproduce ke ngoku ngapha i-diesel ke ngoku lephuma ngapha iba i-diesel yodwa. Eza hydrocarbons bendithetha ngazo ziyaseparateka. Ezi ezithanda ukuba long okanye ukuba nkulu zishiyeka ngapha zodwa i-hydrocarbons. Ke ngoku ezincinci ziyagqitha zona zizoshiyeka kuleyo ke zepetrol ezi. Kusho ukuthi le system yethu yona injalo nje. Thina asinaxhala lokuthi sibona kanjani uba lena i-diesel okanye sibona kanjani uba i-petrol. I-system yethu noba incinci kakhulu nje kodwa iyakwazi ukuthi isi-separate. Thina xa sizikhipha apha sezi-finished products siyazi uba xa seyiphumile ke ngoku i-liquid kanje asisazidibanisi ngoba siyazi uba le yepetrol lena ye-diesel. So isebenza kanjani i-system yethu.
Okay, I can also see that these are 3 gas cylinders, ne?
Yes.
Did you make this whole process yourself of connecting the 3 of them?
Yeah. Yimi vele beziweldela sikhona sinayo i-welding machine ke isayizabalaza lesizinto kunzima kunjalo. So yiyo sisebenzise ukwenza yonke le nto. ezixa uyazijonga vele njengoba sisho zii-gas cylinders ezisebenza ukugalela igesi but ke zisebenza ngale ndlela lena kodwa ikhona omashini abakhulu abakwazi ukuthi beyenze iquantity enkulu abathengi abasebenza ngombane noba bengasebenzi ngombane ikhona indlela enye yokudizayina ethanda ingcono kakhulu kunaleyo xa kunemadlana yoba uzakhe ezo system ezo nemali.
Okay, so how did you decide on this idea? How did you come up with this idea?
Njengoba besenditshela ukuthi esikolweni nje ngenza science ndadibane ne-science kaningi so endincedise kakhulu loo nto ngoba ithe ekuvini kwam uba okay i-crude oil le ine-hydrocarbons ndabe sendizenza laa research yam ukuthi ngeziphi izinto mhlawumbe ezenziwe nge-crude oil endingakwazi ukuthi ndireverse iprocess yakhona ukuthi iye back ndikwazi ukurecoverisha laa crude oil bezihleli zenziwe ngayo. So ii-plastics zizo endiye ndafumana uba no ii-plastics zizo ezilula kakhulu uba ndireverse iprocess ifumane laa crude oil. I-crude oil xa sowunayo ke ngoku sekulula into yobana uthini uzenzela ii-petroleum products noba okwangoku njengoba besenditshile uba sisenza at least ngelanga 20 to 25 to 30 uba kuthiwa sisebenze kakuhle ngosuku ezale crude oil sikwazi ukuthi ke hoping ukuthi from now kuya phambili abantu bazosixhasa ngoba ii-products zethu njengoba nditsho ndithi sizithestile kwi-different engines zabona ukuthi ziyasebenza. Akekho nomnye umakhiniki ke kuye esendithethe nabo ondinikeze iripoti yobana mhlawumbi i-engine yakhe yaba nengxaki ngemva kokuthi kufakwe le fuel yethu edume ndikhona ndayibona kho smoke akho ntoni so injalo.
Okay, so now we are about to test the petrol that you saw earlier. The petrol that we saw earlier. This is a stamper and it uses petrol to work. There was a bit of petrol inside, but now they're going to drain it so we can test this one well.
Okay, now we are removing the petrol that was already used in the stamper. So we will take in this petrol that we have manufactured from the plastics so that we can see how it performs compared to the one that we know. Yeah, so now we are on that process, we are removing it, then in no time we will be putting in this one.
Okay. So this is the petrol that was inside the stamper. It's now empty. He's about to pour his petrol. Well, viewers at home, as you can see, that stamper is working because of this fuel. So we can safely say that this fuel works perfectly fine. Okay, since you are working in an outdoor place and also starting this business, what challenges have you faced?
Up to so far, I can say we are not safe here because anyone can appear anywhere, and you can see that this is a forest just because I don't have a place where I'm working. So I can say the place is the first thing that I can ask from anyone who can help. We need the perfect place whereby you can work, even when it is raining here. So we are not able to work here when it is raining. You can imagine if it has been raining since from yesterday up until now. Even our wood is wet, even our system will not work because there will be water, it will be wet. So that is the main challenge that I have. The secondly, we are not safe, as I said before. There are strangers who are vagabonding here all over the forest. So even if you see someone just walking, maybe collecting firewood, you think that is a stranger. You are not safe, you are not comfortable here. Yeah, I think up to so far, if I can't talk about the challenge of having the small system, I can say, yeah, those are the ones that I can mention.
Okay, so now for people who are interested in the product that you are making now, or who just like to contact you, how do they go about that?
Ndizawushiya izinumber zem mhlambe kuni page nini kwenzela ukuthi abantu abangaba interested ukuthi bandicontact then bakuba ndifumane kanjani.
Okay, earlier in our conversation, you did mention that you once tried out making gas. How did you do that, and why did you stop making gas?
Okay, igas bendiyenza ukuyicacisa nje umuntu noqala ukuyiva. Ibigesi esebenza njenge-LPG gas, igesi lesithenga kuzo zonke igarages. Ephekayo, imeza amanzi wenza yonke into. So but phakathi besebenzisa ubulongo ibizwa ngoba i-biogas, bisebenzisa ubulongo isebenzisa ukudla kwehagu. Then ke ngokulonto yonke ke lo ibizwa ngoba i-anaerobic digestion, into enzeka apho kungekho khona oxygen. So ke ngokubulongwe xa ubuyeshushu kuba ne-bacteria, into ezibizwa ngoba zii-microorganisms. Zizo ke ngoku ezitya kobulongwe ziproduce ke ngoku into ebizwa ngoba yi-methane gas. So i-methane gas leyo eproducer zezi microorganisms yiyo le besiyithatha ke ngoku sithi siyisebenzisa ukupheka. So ndiye ndayenza ke loo nto leyo, but nje ukuthi indaba yokuba bendingenamali, ndazama ke ukuthi ugovernment andincedise apha naphayana, but kwabonakala ukuthi ugovernment iyasifeyila thina singabantu abasha kakhulu, uyasifeyila kakhulu ngoba ndiye ndathi sendikwi-process yokuthi sendi-aplayile, but kwabonakala ukuthi kwabantu endiphakula office bendi-aplya kuyo abakho interested ukuthi bandincedise ukuya phambili. So kwaba nee-challenges ezigqibele ezenza uba ndide ndigive up ngoba befuneka imali eninzi kakhulu ukwenza leyana nto ye-anaerobic digestion. Ingcono kakhulu le ndiyenza ngoba at nge-resources ezincinci endinazo, kodwa ndiyakwazi uba ndigqibele kune-product endithi nantsi ndiyenzile. Ngoba le yegesi ndagqibela ukuyenza ekhaya, siyisebenzisa ekhaya, yabandiphelele apho. So ukuthi ndiyenzele omnye umuntu ecaleni bekuye kwaba nzima kakhulu ngoba ngoku bekufuneka imali ukuthi athenge i-equipment le ndithi efunekayo, then kube nzima ukuthi abantu bathenge i-equipment le edurayo aphinde azobhatala. So ndayiyeka kanjalo iprojekthi yegesi.
South Africa faces a high rate of unemployment, with many young people left with nothing to do, while some turn to drugs and crime. Others, like Lungisile, strive to use their innovation to make a living. However, in a tightly regulated business environment like South Africa, Botji's products will likely face significant challenges before it can thrive as a legitimate business. He is appealing to government for support to help realize his dream of creating job opportunities for other young people and making a positive impact in his community. Reporting for Informa, I am Tulwana Mampomarand.